Conquest of Mecca. The conquest of Mecca began with two tribes and breaking a very important clause in the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah. The two tribes were the Quraysh tribe and Bani Bakr. These two tribes were an ally to each other. Both of these tribes attacked another tribe which was Bani Khujja, and they were an ally to the Muslim or the Muslims of Medina. When they attacked, the leader of Bani Khujja came to our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and asked for protection. Our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam realized that the Quraysh have broken a very important clause of the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah. And the clause was that there will be no war for the next 10 years. These were some of the clauses that the Quraysh tribe insisted upon the Muslims, even though the Muslims were not comfortable with some of the clause, if not all of them. When our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam realized this, he saw it as an opportunity. But not only as an opportunity, the Muslims and our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam realized that this violence, this injustice, this all too powerful tribes attacking weaker tribes and diminishing them has gone on far too long in Mecca, and this cannot go on. So our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prepared himself and also ordered 10,000 Muslims for the conquest of Mecca. Now, how come there were 10,000 Muslims? There's also another story behind that. And the story is, or the reason is, there was another clause in the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah. And the clause was, any tribe can become an ally or establish an alliance with any tribe they want, be it Muslims, be it the Quraysh, be it other tribes. So after this treaty or after this clause was added, a lot of tribes, they came to the Muslims and they entered a peace treaty with the Muslims. And also in this way, a lot of people became Muslims. They accepted Islam. So when the conquest of Mecca happened, the Muslim increased in numbers, and it was our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam entered Mecca with 10,000 of these Muslims. So they reached the outskirts of Mecca and they set a camp. It was night time. Our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ordered the Muslims to light their lamps, or those things that they used to use in times when there was no electricity. I'm sorry, the lamp is not the correct word, but fire, to light fire outside their tent. Our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there was an intention behind it. When all the Muslims or the people who had tents, who were inside tents, they light their fire, when they did that, the mushrikun or the pagan worshippers of Mecca, they saw that. They saw that these Muslims, they are just there outside of Mecca, and they will attack, or they can attack anytime they want. They have 10,000 men in their army. And the Quraysh, yes, they were obviously really very powerful, but they did not have 10,000 men in their army, or they did not have 10,000 people who will support them. Because the favor for Muslims increased after the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah. And not only that, but actually many people wanted to be in peace, wanted to live in peace. And they wanted to, let the Muslims be, because it was affecting their businesses, their livelihood. So they did not want any war. A lot of people actually did not want any war. And not only that, there were also secret Muslims in Meccan society. Muslims that other people did not know that they accepted Islam. So all in all, the Quraysh, the pagan worshippers, the idol worshippers of Mecca were in a dire situation. The situation was not in favor for them, it was actually in favor for the Muslims. So when they saw that, they sent Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan was a very powerful leader of the Quraysh tribe. Abu Sufyan ran to our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam so that he can, come up with some kind of agreement or something like that, so that the Muslims do not attack the city of Mecca, because if they do, Quraysh will not survive that attack. There were already 3 wars, and in 2 of them they lost. So yeah, there was no other way other than trying to negotiate some kind of peace with the Muslims. But here is the thing, our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not have any intention to shed any blood. It was Makkah after all. It was the place of Allah's house, of Kaaba, of Haram-e-Sharif. It was the place where he was born and brought up. How can he shed blood in that area, in that holy place? No, he did not want that. Our Rasul did not, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, absolutely did not want to shed any blood, did not want to wage any war. But the thing is, the Quraysh and the other mushrikuns of the Meccan society did not know that. They were extremely scared and intimidated by the number and the force of the Muslims. So Abu Sufyan went to our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tent at night, and in the evening he got to meet our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He got an appointment, and when they were in conversation, our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Oh Abu Sufyan, don't you think it's time to accept the truth? Don't you think it's time to realize that Allah is the most powerful one, and none should be worshipped other than Him, and I am His Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam." Abu Sufyan took some time to think about it, and guess what? He accepted Islam in that tent, in that camp. And our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said this. He said, "Abu Sufyan, I will not attack any people, any person who will reside in your house or who will take shelter in your house. I will not attack any person, anyone who will take shelter in their home, closing their doors and windows. I will not attack any person who will take shelter in Haram-e-Sharif, in Kaaba." That's what he wanted. That's what, that he did not want to shed any blood. He just want to enter Makkah, see the beloved house of Allah Rabbul Alameen, see the beloved house of Kaaba, and that's it. That is all he wanted. So Abu Sufyan went back to the people of Makkah, and he announced what our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. Our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam entered Makkah, him in the forefront with his riding his camel. The camel's name was Al-Kaswa, and behind him were 10,000 Muslims, entering Makkah in all their glory, in all their, in all what Allah Rabbul Alameen has promised them. And Allah Rabbul Alameen promised our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that you will get Makkah, you will conquer Makkah in your lifetime. You will see that, you will witness that. And Allah Rabbul Alameen kept his promise. And it was such an emotional time for Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that when he was entering Makkah, he was crying, and he bent his head down, and he was reciting Surah Al-Fath. Now it's not Surah Al-Fatiha, it's Surah Al-Fath, F-A-T-H. It's the 48th Surah of Holy Quran, and these are some of the verses. I'm reciting the first 3 verses of Surah Al-Fath, and here Allah Rabbul Alameen promised our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam the victory. Basically, Al-Fath means victory. Okay, so these are the verses. "Verily, we have given you, O Muhammad, a manifest victory, that Allah may forgive you your sins of the past and future, and complete His favor on you, and guide you on the straight path, and that Allah may help you with strong help." And He did help our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In movies we see that when any general or any king or any emperor, conquers a city, He enters that city in with pride and ego, with all this glory, with his soldier championing him, and women and children championing that person, and he is like, okay, I'm the hero of the moment. But our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam obviously was the hero, but his attitude or his body language was completely different. He was humble. He was a humble servant of Allah Rabbul Alamin, and he projected that to his people. He bent his head down. He was thanking Allah Rabbul Alamin all the time. He was grateful. He was the utmost grateful servant of Allah Rabbul Alamin. So he enters Kaaba, and guess what? In Kaaba there were 350, and in some other narrations there were 360 idols residing inside Kaaba and all around Kaaba, one for each day. That time the pagan worshippers, the idol worshippers, would worship these idols all throughout the year, one for each day. And all of them were destroyed by our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but they were destroyed very peacefully. Like, there was no chaos, there was no shouting, nothing. It was done extremely peacefully, because that was the style of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is the style of the Muslims. Okay, so this is how he destroyed the idols. He had a staff, or he had a stick that he used while walking. He would point his stick to to the idols, and the idols would automatically topple over, fall down, and it would just break. All the pagan worshippers, or the Meccan society, because Meccan society was mostly they were idol worshippers. They saw their gods being destroyed powerlessly. Like, the gods that they worshipped all these years, all their lives, being destroyed, and their gods couldn't do anything, absolutely anything. And when our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was destroying these idols, he said these very eloquent lines about truth and false. And the lines were this: Allah is great, truth has come, and falsehood has vanished. Verily, falsehood is fleeting. There is great learning in these lines. Excuse me. The learning is many times in our lives we also experience falsehood. Someone lying about us behind our back. Someone has spread rumors about us, and they have taken some truth and mixed with a lot of false into it, and they created something, and they spread it in the society. People talked about you. This is something I personally experienced, so yeah, I know. And you know what about this falsehood? This is, our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself says this, that it's fleeting, it's very temporary. That's the nature of falsehood. Truth will remain. Truth will always remain. And this truth, with the help of this truth, on that day, our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam forgave anyone and everyone that came up to him and asked for forgiveness. These people, they tortured our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They tortured him physically, verbally, emotionally, psychologically. I mean, if you study the early history of how our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam preached Islam in Mecca and what was done to him, it will shake your soul. It will literally shake your soul. How come these people have treated our Rasul, my Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, like that? But our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the very manifestation of compassion, he forgave everyone except 4 people. These 4 people were criminals, and he ordered their execution. Other than that, everyone was forgiven. The Sahabas who were tortured, guys, if you hear how they were tortured, it will again shake your soul. Like, how did they tolerate that? they forgave their tormentors. And so many people on that day, it's mentioned, this is how it's described, people in groups, not one, not two, but several groups came up to our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and accepted Islam. So yeah, that's the conquest of Mecca. So this is there are a lot of details that that is there, that I'm going to make other videos, because this video is getting already too long and I don't like to make long videos. So yeah, I'm trying to remember if I've missed out anything, and inshallah if I do, I'll include it in other videos. So please watch my videos on a regular basis, then you will learn about this history, about this time that existed once upon a time, that happened once upon a time. So yeah, this is how the conquest of Mecca happened. Yeah, I mean I cannot get over it because it's giving me goosebumps. This is what happens to you when you study the history of Islam, the biography of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what went on, what happened, what did not happen, and everything. Trust me, guys, it will change your life. It will absolutely change your life. So yeah, this is a series. So this will be the series of Treaty of Hudaybiyyah Part 2. There will gonna be other parts. So yeah, please watch my videos, and inshallah I'll meet you in the next one. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.